G'day everyone, I'm Raid0AU and welcome to a new series on 7 Days to Die. And this is the console version. So I have been running a few series now on 7 Days to Die on PC. But wanted to support the developers, the Fun Pimps. So grabbed a copy on the PlayStation 4. And thought it would be worthwhile doing a series running alongside the PC series, solely based on the console version. Now, I'm no expert as far as console play is concerned. I'm a bit ham-fisted when it comes to using a controller, so this could be quite interesting. I have had a little bit of a play around with the game just to get used to some of the controls. But we'll see how we go, and maybe I can pass a few tips on. I'll let you guys decide that, whether the series is useful or not. So we're going to jump straight into a new game, and going to treat this as though basically, or try and do it as like for someone who's not played 7 Days to Die before. We go into character select. Now, one difference between the PC version and the console version is there is no custom set up here. Basically, you need to check. You need to use one of the presets here. So I'm going to use Jack. He won't actually look like, he won't have all that gear on when we load in. We're going to go into single player. So you can play it survival multiplayer, creative multiplayer, or a private game. Single player, we'll play that. Now, for any new players, if you're playing for the first time, I would advise using the Navsgain map rather than random gen. A randomly generated map is great. Don't get me wrong, I really enjoy random generation, probably more so than Navsgain now. But when you're first starting out, Navsgain is certainly the best map to play on. It's a handcrafted map made by the Fun Pimps, and certainly been developed over a couple of years, or over a few years now. And it's, if nothing else, it's more predictable as far as where are you in the map and things like that. So certainly that would be my advice. We're going to single player options and standard options. Basically, adventurer, or normally on the PC, nomad is like the default. So I'm going to stick it on that. Going to leave it on default zombies run. So the idea with the zombies in this is during the day they walk, at night they run, and they also hit harder during the night. Enemy aggression, normal. I believe when you first load into the game, the daylight length is set to 16. I would strongly advise setting that to 18, just to give you a bit more time to do things during the day. What that means is the zombies will start to run at 10 o'clock at night, and they'll stop running at 4 o'clock in the morning. And then we go into the modded options here. Drop on death, drop everything. You can change that to drop only what's on your tool belt, or drop only what's in your backpack, or to delete everything when you die. Enemy memory, that's how long they're going to remember where they've sensed you. Enemy spawning, I'm going to leave it on medium. I believe that's the default. Everything in here I'm just going to leave as normal. So we've got a 24-hour cycle of 50 minutes. You can set that to 60 or 120. For the purpose of this, I might just set it to 60. So there we go. You can mark airdrops on or off. For the purpose of this, if you're just starting out, I would leave that marked on, just so that basically you can get some decent loot out of those. Certainly, these options are all entirely up to the individual player. Rule sets, Basically, they just set like a default rule set on there. So, all right. So we'll head right in there. We'll set a name for it. So let's go. Series. Series 1 will do. And to verify the name, yes, it's okay. Okay, and here we are. So this is what you're going to be greeted with. Now you could be in a number of different biomes. You could be in a snow biome or a desert biome. We've actually done pretty well here. We've started off in the like the forest biome. So, dear friend, the wasteland can be an unforgiving place and you look like you could use some help. Enclosed is a short guide to help you survive. If you complete it, we just might take in a new citizen. The White River Settlement. It's real and it's safe. Good luck, Noah. Okay. Basic survival is your active quest. The quest status is displayed in the objective tracker in the top right. You see up there it's telling me to craft a stone axe. So basically what they've done is they've added in this tutorial quest at the beginning just to get you started. There are a couple of things with it that I'll just mention as we go through. But certainly day one, basically what you're wanting to do is to effectively go through that. It's what you would normally be doing. What they've done is they've gone through the normal start process that everyone generally does in the game. So plant fibers, you just get that by using the right toggle and just punch the grass. And you should get 2 each time you punch it. The other thing to keep an eye out for are any of these bird nests. And you want to loot those for the feathers in there. Now these plants here give you some wood. So we need to get 2 wood. So if we punch those the same as we were the grass, you'll see down the bottom right there, it tells me that I've got +1 wood. Ooh. There we go. And it wants us to gather small stones, so, and you just pick those up off the ground here. You'll find those lying around. And there's another one here. And you only need to grab 2. There are better ways to get stone. One thing I would advise when you first start out is basically just to hang around your starting area initially. It's got like a bit of an, I suppose, almost like an exclusion zone around it. Doesn't last forever, but it just means you're a bit safer there. So now that we've done that, I'll just quickly go through the interface. So at the top there, you've got your compass, tells you the day and the time. You've got your quest, obviously, on the right-hand side there. On the bottom left, you've got your stamina in blue, and you've got your health in red. There. Now, both of those stats can be increased as you play through the game, generally through eating various foods and things like that. The other thing is, when you're starting off, you will want to loot everything. The reason being that you want to increase your scavenging skill, and we will get into skills. Maybe not in this video, but we will get into. We'll have a look at all the different skills. There is one particular skill that we'll get into in this video. Oh, and there we go. We've got ourselves a pistol already. That's nice. It's okay. So As I said, just want to loot everything, even if it seems like, if it doesn't seem useful at the time, just loot it. Basically, you can then arrange your inventory afterwards. As I said, it's mainly a matter of you just want to loot everything to get your scavenging skill done. Alright, so now we've gathered everything for the stone axe and we've looted the car and everything. Basically what you need to then do is, and on the PlayStation it is the square button. You want to press that and go into your inventory, and on the side here you've got your recipes that you can craft. And you'll see there's stone axe. You just select that, and we want to craft a stone axe. So to craft it, we just need to press the up on the D-pad. So do that. Wait for it to craft. There we go. We just select that out of our inventory, and we'll bring that down to our hotbar. And in fact, what I'm going to do is just arrange some of this stuff. Get it. Don't need the food and that on the hotbar. I will keep the torch on there, and I will keep the bandage on there, and I will move the painkillers down. Not too bothered about using the pistol at this stage. That was just a lucky find, so you can't be guaranteed that's going to happen. Alright, so that's the first part of the quest run. That's step one. So now it wants us to gather some more plant fibres. So as I said, just go around punching grass. Grabbing a bit more than I actually need, because I will need some more. Alright. And it wants us to craft some clothing. So we just come up to the clothing tab up here. So up the top here in your crafting menu, you've got your basics on the side here, building, then you've got resources, ammo and weapons, tools, food, medicine, clothing and furniture, decor, miscellaneous stuff. So we just go into the clothing, and we'll need to make plant fibre gloves. It wants us to make a hood, pants, shirt, and shoes. Yay. And we'll just wait for it to do that. Well, now you see we've got a bear over there. You want to stay away from bears initially. Basically, they will absolutely wreck you at the start. So, yeah, you don't want to go anywhere near him. Alright. So we've crafted those. Just going to keep an eye on that bear. I want to see what happens to him. So now it just wants us to put it on. So now to put it on, instead of just simply pressing the square button on the controller to go into the inventory, we hold it down and it brings up this radial menu. So we've got crafting up there, players, quests, skills, your map, and your character. So you want to go into character, and then basically you just select each item, and you don't need to put it specifically in the slot. You can just drop it on the character. We'll do that for each of these. There we go. Now one thing I am going to do is I'm going to take the hood back off. One, I don't particularly like the look of that hood. But you'll see over here, this is where you see your player stats in the character screen. So we've got, it's telling us we're level 1, our wellness is 100, so that's our health out of a maximum of 200. Food is 89%, water 89%, and saying it feels like 77.7 degrees Fahrenheit. We haven't killed anything, we haven't had any deaths, we've only travelled a few metres. and things like that. Tells you active effects down here, so if you get infected or something like that, it'll tell you down there, or if you overheated or something like that. Okay, so now it wants us to gather wood and craft a wooden club. Well, easiest way now is we just bring up our stone axe and just start hitting a tree with it. Now, with any resource in the world, when you're collecting it, you want to be like this tree. You want to go right the way through and complete that particular block. So this tree, I want to take it all the way down, and the reason being, if you watch the bottom right, there you go, you get a bonus at the end. So I got a bonus of 108 wood at the end when I chop that down. The other thing I'll mention is collecting stones. You will need stone. You'll probably need quite a bit of it, or you will need quite a bit of it over time. But initially, to start off with, the best way to get stone is there's two types of boulders in the world. There's these ones here. You see we've got a few of those around. And there's these ones that I'm pointing at here. The ones I'm pointing at the moment only give you stone. They might give you the odd piece of metal, but they only give you stone. These ones here will give you stone and metal. So it's always worth looking for these ones above looking for the other ones and using these to gather stone. So you see on the side there I'm gathering stone, but I'm also getting some scrap iron as well. And once again, you want to go through and you want to destroy the entire block. You'll see this goes down, it's 400 at a time. We're just going to keep going on this. I'll just break this one down and then we'll leave it at that. We'll continue on with our quest. Alright. So we got a decent amount of stone, we've got a decent amount of iron there to start off with. So it wants us to craft a wooden club. So once again, we just go into our inventory screen. We go to ammo and weapons, and we just craft a wooden club. There we go. Not going to bother equipping that at the moment. Okay. Now, so this one is, I always do this one a little bit different. So you'll see up there on the top right, it says craft bow and arrows. So gather wood, we've done. Gather plant fibers, we've got that. Gather feathers, we've found those in the nest. Craft a wooden bow. Now, I wouldn't do that straight off. Basically, what I would do, and I'm still a little bit concerned about having this bear around the place. It must be somewhere. What I would always do initially is I would just have a look around before you complete this part of the quest for any more of those bird nests and collect as many feathers from them as you can. Might take a few moments to do that. And in this particular biome, they can be quite difficult to see at times. In a snow biome or in the desert, you shouldn't have any issue at all seeing them. They're pretty easy to pick up. Not looking like I'm having much luck here. I'm not going to search all over the place. I'm just searching around the initial area. So if there's some, there's some. If there's not, well, so be it. Well, it doesn't look like we're going to be in luck today with those. So a little bit unfortunate. We do have some. Oh, here's one. Here's one here. And there's no feathers, only eggs. You will use eggs for cooking, so it's worth grabbing them when you see them. There's that bear. Oh, there's another one. Come over and grab that. Right, another 9. So as I said, really don't want to get anywhere near that, or don't want to aggro that bear. He's not doing anyone any harm, and certainly I want to keep it that way. Alright, so can't see any more around, none that are immediately obvious. So once you've done that and you've picked up some feathers, oh, here's one. Oh, that's nice, that doubled the amount we've got. It's good. What you then want to do is you want to go in and you want to craft arrows first. So we'll select arrow, and this particular, you can either set the number here 1 by 1, or you can just tell it to do the maximum. I'm going to tell it to do the maximum. I want it to make 32. Once it's made 32, what I then want it to do is then it can make the wooden bow. And once it's made the wooden bow, I then want it to make an iron reinforced club. So you'll see there we need 5 iron, 5 wood for an iron reinforced club. It's just stronger than the wooden club. And that's why looking for those boulders is a good idea to start off with. It just gives you that initial iron to start off with, so you can go straight into an iron reinforced club. The reason we want to do the arrows before we do the bow is that you have a skill called weaponsmithing, and various things increase. There you go. So your skill in weaponsmithing is now level 2. Basically, creating arrows will increase your weaponsmithing, and what that means is that you'll get a better quality bow when you craft it. So there we go, we've crafted the bow. So we're going to our inventory now. So we've got a level 32 bow, which is better than what we would have had we just simply crafted the bow initially. We would have had like a level 1 bow. So that's just a little tip for doing that particular quest. If you don't follow it in order, make sure you go around, collect as many feathers as you can, and craft those first. And then, if you've got the iron, make the iron reinforced club. And you'll see there that's a level 34. So, because that also comes from the weaponsmithing. Okay, so the next thing is gather wood. We've got wood. Alright, craft a wood frame. So wood frames basically are up in building. So we just scroll through these using the right stick. And go into wood frames, and it wants us to make 3 of them. Alright, easy. There we go. I'll just pop those on our hotbar. And then what we're going to do is we'll go and have a look at inside the house here, and we will loot some of this stuff. You hear the timer there. Alright. So these buildings here, the ones that look all burnt, are buildings that have been added into the game just to help a player just starting out. Just so there's somewhere that basically you can, instead of having to go search for somewhere, These are around the place. There's generally no zombies around them, but there's very little loot in them as well. Having said that, you still want to loot everything in this house. So we'll just do that. You can see there's not much here, but you do want to loot everything. We want everything to be going towards that scavenging skill. And when we talk about skills, that will become more obvious. This is a nice find, a shotgun schematic. That's a very nice find. I believe in my last PC playthrough it took me about 50 episodes to actually find that one. So there's a certain amount of RNG involved. Sorry, excuse me. There's a certain amount of RNG involved when it comes to what you find. So these schematics, when you find them, what you do is just press the on the PlayStation, it's the triangle, just to highlight the information, and then just press the up to read it, and you'll see there you'll learn how to make a shotgun, and your gunsmithing will go up by 1. So there we go, and it says new recipe unlocked, shotgun. Awesome. Alright, that was an unexpected find. Pleasant one, but unexpected. Alright, so we come in the back here. Always have a look in toilets. In this case, we've just got some murky water. They have been known to have pistols in them. And, oh, what is that? Vitamins. They've changed the look of vitamins for the console version. So... the other thing is empty jars. We will be collecting those because of wanting to boil water. But we'll get to that. So, alright, so we'll continue on with our initial quest there. So start a base, gather wood. We've done that. We've crafted the wood frames. So now we want to place them down. So you just highlight them in your toolbar, and the right trigger rotates it. Rotates the block. You won't be able to see it with this one because it's simply square block. And the left trigger places it. There we go. And then it wants us to upgrade them. So upgrading is and to do this I'm going to make a new, just going to make a new stone axe. Rotting flesh, no real use for rotting flesh. You can eat it, but probably not advisable. So I'm just going to get rid of that. Plant fibre hood, I'm not going to use that, so I'm going to scrap it. And to scrap something, you just you inspect it, and then basically the sideways, the right side on the D-pad scraps it, and that will get you some resources back. Alright, so there's our stone axe. This one can just go. Okay, so to upgrade, what you do is you select your stone axe. There are a couple of other items in the game that are used for this. One is the wrench and the other one is the claw hammer. But initially it will just be the stone axe, and you use the left trigger to upgrade. So you see there, it's upgrades it from a frame to a wood block, and you can upgrade these through various stages. So 2 levels of wood, then it goes through to scrap iron, and you can go all the way up to reinforced concrete and to steel, I believe, if you have the right resources, of course. Okay, so now it wants us to craft a bedroll, so we'll just go and do that. So we need to just gather a couple more, or a few more plant fibres, grab those. As I said, I always tend to grab more than I need. Reason being that you do use plant fibres for crafting various things. There we go. And once again, we go into our inventory, and the bedroll is under basics. So there we go, bedroll. We'll craft that. Now, what the bedroll does is it sets your spawn point. So if something should happen and you die, that is where you're going to come back to. So this is actually a 2-story building. So we'll go upstairs and we're going to place it up here. This one actually already has a campfire in it. But for purposes of the tutorial and for this video, we'll assume that's not there. So, alright, we'll go into our inventory, we'll grab our bedroll. Pop that on our hotbar, and we will place that one down. There we go. So now this is where I'm going to spawn if I die. And I probably will. Well, I could just about guarantee I'll die at some stage. So, alright, so gather small stones, craft a campfire, place a campfire. So, alright, we can do that. Where do we want to place the campfire? Might place it down here somewhere. We'll place it. Let's place it on the stove. No, let's place it on the bench here. Like, it's a metal bench, so not that it matters. Basically, you can place campfire anywhere. Alright, so once again, place it on your hotbar and just the left trigger places that. There we go. That's the basic survival quest done. You earn a skill point for that, which you can, it says, highlight the desired skill or perk and purchase it. I wouldn't bother to start off with, to be honest. I would hold on to things like skill points until you're sure what you want to put them into. So, and you'll notice there that it's now 4:30 in the afternoon. So, basically, not a lot of time left. This is a good position, a good spot to have started in, simply because of the Navs game map. But we'll get into that a little bit more in the next episode, and maybe have a look at some of the skills and things like that as well. So I hope that's been useful. For any of you console players out there, if you're watching this, welcome to 7 Days to Die. It's certainly a game I've enjoyed over quite a period of time, and certainly a lot of content in here it'll be well worth the money that's been spent on it. And it's nice to see other people getting the chance other than PC players. For those PC players that maybe have watched this video, never fear, I will still be doing my PC version series alongside this series. So it'll be interesting to see how the two compare. So hopefully my skills with the controller get better over time. So, but going to call the video here for the first episode. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please leave a like and subscribe. And I look forward to seeing you all next time. I'm Raid0AU, signing out.